In this video, I'll be discussing why I left RV transport for the season and some things you should consider if you're trying to decide whether or not you want to start doing this job. To get started first with why I stopped doing RV transport this season. RV transport, first and foremost, is a seasonal job. You can certainly tow through the winter, but the demand for RVs, for people actually going to the dealership and buying RVs, is a spring and summer only thing. Now, obviously, there's folks that will go out and they'll buy a camper and they'll live in it year round, but I feel like that population is very small in comparison to the vast majority of the people that are going camping in the summertime with their family, and then they winterize their RV and put it away for the off season. What that means for you and me as drivers in the industry is that there is a lot less freight in the fall and winter. There's not no freight because RVs are still getting transported, but it is a trickle in comparison. The difference I saw in peak season was you would have a load board that had almost 1,000 trailers. That was just trailers, not fifth wheels, bumper pull trailers that needed to go to a dealer, and probably 500 reloads going to various places. So as you can imagine, because there were so many loads, the rates got bid up by the companies, Camping World, Campers Inn. There were a couple other smaller dealers that we delivered to. And so you got paid a lot more for what you were doing. It's the whole concept of supply and demand. And that goes away in the fall. I noticed a sharp drop off in both freight volume and rates in the fall, and that was the primary driver of what led me to de-lease from Wave Express, because you can keep driving, but when I looked at it for me personally, towing and the maintenance and the freight rates, and just once you added it all up, making less than $1.70 a mile was not profitable. And if you're gonna do this as kind of a side hustle, and maybe you have retirement funds or you work another job or whatever, it's just good to be aware that you still have to pay monthly payments on insurance, do all your maintenance. There's all of the pickup fees, like I would have to pay $40 to have the RV shuttled from the factory to a yard, and that gets taken out of my rate when I'm taking it to the dealer. Then you have to have your escrow deposit. So I had to keep $1,500 on deposit at Wave because the driver's responsible for paying for the first $1,500 of damage that occurs to a unit, which can be literally anything. Looking at that and all the maintenance costs, it did not seem worth risking continuing to transport RVs for less than $1.70 a mile in the wintertime. And I know there's guys that do it and they make it work. This is just for me personally. It was not financially worth it. I use for my business, both for my marketing videos and for hauling, a profit first accounting model where I am taking a check and splitting it into buckets as soon as it hits my bank account. So let's say I get paid, just for round numbers, $1,000 for a load. As soon as that hits my bank account, I am setting aside 15% for taxes, 5% for profit. I had 20% of that for my salary, and then the remainder, which was about 60%, was going towards expenses. And a 60% expense ratio was high. Now, granted, I am also paying everything else for my business out of that 60%. I'm paying my phone bill. I am paying for all the maintenance and upgrades for my truck. So if I hadn't done a pusher kit or the HSM fuel filter upgrade or anything else, and I was just running the truck as is and not doing any mods, I probably could have gotten that down to 50% or 40%. But I would say probably minimum would have been 50% expense ratio, because you also want to have cash on hand for a rainy day. Maybe your truck's turbo shits out. Maybe you have a blowout or you have damage that occurs to a trailer. You don't make as much that month, right? So that was all going into my calculations. And if I'm making less than $1.70, it isn't worth it. Like, I would, even when it was $1.95, after expenses, like the actual amount I'm transferring from my business account to my personal account was like $300 to $400 for like 3 full days of work and sleeping in my truck. And that's the reality. And people will talk about, oh, it's like good money, but they're not taking out expenses, taxes, fees, everything else. And so when I look at it that way, from my opinion, it is a seasonal job, because unless you're like, if you really want to crush it and you feel good about your truck, and you know, I really don't see how it's worth it. Now, if you want to see the country, and again, maybe you have retirement funds you're living off of and you want to see the country, great. I think this could be a good option. But at that point, I'm almost like, you could get another part-time job and still see the country and have it be a lot less stressful, because you're not towing a trailer around with you. Because as soon as you have that trailer in your possession, it's your responsibility. And if anything happens, you know, if you really sit down and think about it, it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility. And then, you know, at the end of the day, you're away from home sleeping in your truck, and not everybody has a hitchhiker like I do. A lot of guys, most guys, sleep in their back seat. Now, what I want to be clear is this is by no means a negative video about the company that I was driving for, Wave Express. Everyone there is super nice, super helpful. Like, I love my dispatcher. I definitely got along with everyone in the office. You know, I think some of it too is how you're interacting with people that you're working with. And, you know, the office people have a job to do, and sometimes their goals conflict with your goals as a driver, and you have to be able to work through that. And I don't have any other trucking experience outside of doing RV transport, so you know, I can't speak from like a hotshot perspective, or even someone who has like a CDLA or B. You know, this was just something I did as a side hustle and just towed bumper pull and kept it like pretty chill. I think that's the number one takeaway here. For me, RV transport is seasonal. That's not to say I won't go back and tow when the busy season kicks in. I think I'll make a determination at that point. And this is coming from someone who is still a relatively new business owner. I know you may own a business and have run it for 10, 20 years, or maybe you've worked in a family business and you probably know how hard it is. And I'm probably about 2 years into running my own business, or 3 years, and you know, I still have a long way to go. I think that stat is like 50% of new businesses fail in the first year, and it's like 80% fail in the first 5 years. So it's tough working for yourself, and that's where I think you have to look at stuff pragmatically. Like, for me, I was like, oh, it'd probably be good if I kept doing RV transport, because for the YouTube channel, I'd be putting more miles on my truck. But YouTube isn't a source of income for me, really. I mean, I make a little bit off of ad revenue, but it's not anything crazy. And so when I looked at that and RV transport, and then all the nights I was away from home, and then the additional opportunity I had to film marketing videos, which is really what I like to do. Like, my main focus for a career is being a filmmaker and making marketing videos for brands for both social media and websites. And so like that's kind of my focus, is as like a more polished filmmaker, and that's just way more lucrative, and there's a lot less expenses associated with that once you have all the gear than it is to run a truck 10,000 miles a month for, you know, $1.70 a mile. That's just how the math comes out for me.